Welcome all of you in the channel Chemistry Education. This is the fourth video on the coordination compounds. In earlier three videos, I have explained the difference between double salt and the coordination compound. Then in the second video, Werner's experimental work. Third video, Werner's theory. And now fourth video, I will explain the basic definitions in the coordination chemistry. So the very first definition in the coordination chemistry that all the students and we must know is the coordinate bond. So how the bonds are formed? There are different types of the bond: ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate bond and metallic bond. Among these four types of bond in the coordination compound, there is formation of coordinate bond. In the coordination compound, there is a metal ion to which the ligands are bonded. Thus, in the coordinate bond, orbital overlap takes place between ligand and metal, where fulfilled orbital of ligand overlap with empty orbital of the metal ion. So, the bond is formed by orbital overlap. The filled orbital of ligand overlap with empty orbital and we get the formation of the bond. This is as such covalent bond, but as the fulfilled orbital of ligand is used, this covalent type of the bond is called as a coordinate bond. So we have example here. We have the AgCN and I have shown this empty sp hybrid atomic orbital of the silver. Then we have the say ammonia molecule. This is the lone pair on the nitrogen, or this is the sp3 hybrid fulfilled atomic orbital on the nitrogen. They will overlap with each other, and after overlap with each other we get the bond between silver and nitrogen of ammonia molecule, which is nothing but the coordinate bond. So here fulfilled orbital of the nitrogen, sp3 hybrid orbital of the nitrogen overlap with empty hybrid atomic orbital of the silver, and we get the formation of bond between ammonia and silver in AgNH3 twice complex. So how the coordinate bond is represented? It is represented by single headed arrow, okay, and it is pointing from ligand to the metal, okay, ligand to the metal. So if you see in AgCN, Ag is the acceptor of electron, nitrogen is the donor of the electron. So the arrow points from donor atom towards the acceptor atom or ligand to the metal. So if you see in coordinate bond, the coordinate bond has same properties as that of covalent bond. The reason is that it is formed by orbital overlap like that of the covalent bond. The only way of the formation is different. So properties of covalent and coordinate bonds are same. Only the way by which bond is formed, that is the empty and fulfilled orbital. Otherwise, as such, way of formation is not also different. So the second definition is the ligand. Okay. So what is the ligand? It is maybe negative ion, it may be neutral molecule, or it may be a positive ion. It is bonded to the metal ion in the coordination complex by coordinate bond. So negative ion, neutral molecule or positive ion which is bonded to the central metal ion by coordinate bond in a coordination compound is nothing but the ligand. So very simple definition. So what are the example? Ammonia, neutral molecule. Cyanide, negatively charged species. H2O, neutral molecule. Cl minus, negative molecule. NO2, negative molecule. All they can bond to the metal ion by the coordinate bond, and hence all they are regarded as a ligand. So what are the characteristics of ligand? Ligand is electron rich species. Okay. So if you see ammonia, we have a lone pair of electron. Cyanide, again lone pair of electron. Water, oxygen has two lone pairs of electron. So if you see these species, they are electron rich or they consist of lone pair of electron, one or more, and they donate pair of electron to the metal ion to form the bond, to form the coordinate bond. So all the ligands, they are Lewis bases, they are electron donor, hence all they are the Lewis bases. The next definition that we have to explain is the complex ion. Okay, so these are the three important definitions in the coordination chemistry. The very first, coordinate bond. Second one is the ligand. Third one is the complex ion. Okay, so what is the complex ion? The neutral molecule are negatively charged or positively charged chemical species that combine with metal ion and it forms the complex ion. Okay, so ligand interact with metal ion and this interaction may lead to the formation of the negatively charged species or the positively charged species. This species is called as a complex ion, and if the combination of metal and ligand is not having any charge, then it is neutral complex molecule. So we may have the neutral complex molecule, we may have negatively charged ion, or we may have positively charged ion, okay, in the coordination compound. So we have example here. If you see the K3Fe6 potassium ferricyanide, the metal ion is iron, ligand is cyanide, and this iron and cyanide together it form FeCN6 3 minus. Okay, this 3 minus negatively charged species is formed, which is nothing but the complex ion. Like in the coordination compound CONH34Cl2 Cl. So CONH34Cl2 in the square bracket and Cl, one Cl is outside the square bracket. So if you see CONH34Cl2 and there is a one positive charge, so this is the complex ion. CONH34Cl2 is the complex ion in the coordination compound CONH34Cl2 Cl. Okay, so the charged species formed by the combination of the metal ion and ligand together is called as the complex ion in the The next definition that we have to explain is coordination number. So coordination number is nothing but the number of ligands bonded to the central metal ion in a coordination compound is called as coordination number of central metal ion. So simply you have to count the coordinately bonded ligands are the secondary valency of the central metal ion, and it is nothing but the coordination number. So coordination number and the secondary valency has the same meaning, or they are the same one, they are not different from each other. What is coordination number and the secondary valency of the metal ion? They are the same one. So here example we have K3Fe6, and if you see in the K3Fe6, iron is the central metal ion, and to the central metal ion 6 cyanide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 cyanides are bonded, hence the coordination number Cn here stands for coordination number of iron is 6. We have another example CONH3,4Cl2, central metal is the cobalt, and if you see 2 chloride and 4 ammonia molecule, 2 chloride and 4 ammonia molecule are bonded coordinately to the cobalt, hence the coordination number Cn of cobalt is plus 6, 6, not plus or minus, it is 6. We have the another example PtNH3 twice Cl2, coordination number is 4. CuNH3 coordination number of copper is 4. Like this we have AgCN twice, silver plus 1, coordination number is 2. AgNH3 twice, the coordination number is 2. So if you see the coordination complexes, usually coordination number 2, 4 and the 6, they are most common. The next definition is the oxidation state of the metal ion. Now, the oxidation state of central metal ion in the complex, it can be calculated. But what is the reason? Usually, if you see, the central metal ion is the transition metal ion in the coordination complexes. And the peculiarity of transition metals is that they have variable oxidation state. Oxidation state is not fixed. So we have the example such as the iron may have plus 2 oxidation state, may have plus 3 oxidation state. Cobalt plus 2, plus 3. Manganese may be in plus 2 oxidation state, plus 3, or it may be in the plus 7 oxidation state. So transition metal ions have variable oxidation state, and as oxidation state is variable, we should know in what oxidation state metal is present in the complex, and hence it is necessary to calculate oxidation state of the central metal ion. So how you can calculate? So the same thing used in the earlier. Total charge on the coordination complex or complex ion is the algebraic sum of charges of all ions in the coordination complex. So, if you see in coordination complex, we have central metal ion, we have ligand, and we have ionically bonded positive or negative ions with the coordination complex. Okay, so if you taken the sum of charges of all these chemical species, ionically bonded chemical species, central metal ion and the ligand, okay, that gives rise total charge on the complex ion or the coordination complex. Okay, so what we know in this case again, we know the charge on the ligand. Okay, so ligands are known, and in the earlier slide I have already explained that ligands have their fixed charges. They may be neutral, they may be negative, or they may be positive. Then ionically bonded species such as a potassium, sodium, calcium, we may have chloride, bromide, iodide, sulfate, thiosulfate. So again these cases, whatever the ionically bonded species is there, it is usually having the fixed oxidation state. So the ionically bonded species and the ligand, they have the fixed oxidation number, and we know this oxidation number, or we know the charges on the species. Thus we can calculate charge on the central metal ion by using the rule. Okay, so how? So we have very first example, K4FeCN6. So if you see the species or the coordination compound K4FeCN6, potassium ferrocyanide, which is the central metal ion, iron is the central metal ion, and we suppose oxidation state or the charge on the iron is X, and X is to be calculated. We have to calculate the X, and hence we'll assume the charge on the iron is X. Okay, so what we know, there are 4 potassium, and potassium has fixed oxidation state +1. So we have 4 potassium into +1. The total charge due to 4 potassium is +4. What we know, charge on cyanide is -1. There are 6 cyanide, so 6 into -1, you will get -6 charges due to the cyanide. Then we have to calculate total charge. The charge on the iron is X. Charge due to 4 potassium is +4. Charge due to 6 cyanide is -6. So we have to check algebraic sum. If you see this complex K4FeCN6, the charge is 0. Okay, neutral compound. So X +4 -6, it is 0. Algebraic sum is 0. And if you calculated now X, you will get X is equal to +2. Okay, so iron is in +2 oxidation state in this compound. Iron is in +2 oxidation state in potassium ferrocyanide. Second example, we have K3FeCN6, potassium ferricyanide. First one ferro, now the ferricyanide. So again central metal ion is iron, and we will suppose the charge or the oxidation state of iron is X, and X is to be calculated. So each potassium +1 charge. There are 3 potassium, so +3 charges. Then cyanide is cyanide -1 charge. 6 cyanide -6 charges. Total charge X, charge on the metal ion, +3 charges of the potassium, -6 charges due to the cyanide, and this sum is taken 0. Why? Since if you see K3FeCN6, it is neutral compound. K3FeCN6 is neutral compound, 0 charge. Thus X +3 -6 is equal to 0. And if you calculated X, X becomes +3. X becomes +3. So in K3FeCN6, the charge on iron is +3, or oxidation state of iron is +3. The next example, CONH36Cl3. Okay, this is the example, CONH36Cl3. So central metal ion is the cobalt, and we'll suppose charge on the cobalt is X and it is to be calculated. Now chloride, you are familiar, chloride has -1 charge. There are 3 chlorides, hence -3 charges due to the chloride. Ammonia, neutral molecule, therefore 0 charge. 6 ammonia, therefore 6 into 0 is equal to 0. Charges due to ammonia are 0. And then we have to take the algebraic sum. X -3 -0, or you can take +0. So X is equal to +3. So in the complex, the oxidation state of cobalt is +3, or cobalt is present in the +3 oxidation state in the compound. The next example we have taken the ionic species complex ion CuNH3 2+. So again we'll consider that charge on the copper is X and it is to be calculated. So if you see ammonia 0 charge, so 4 ammonia, total charge ultimately is 0. Then we have the charge on the complex, okay, charge on the complex is +2, charge on the complex ion is +2. So we have X charge due to copper +0, the charges of ammonia is equal to +2, okay, is equal to +2. Therefore we have X is equal to +2. So in the complex CuNH3 2+, copper is present in +2 oxidation state. Copper is present in +2 oxidation state. Last example, NiCN4 2-. NiCN4 2-. Again we will suppose the charge on the central metal ion nickel is X. Each cyanide has -1 charge, so 4 cyanide -4 charge. Each cyanide -1 charge, 4 cyanide -4 charges. What is the charge on the complex? Charge on the complex is -2. NiCN4 and the charge on the complex is -2. Okay. Now the algebraic sum, X charge on the nickel -4, minus charges of the 4 cyanide ion is equal to -2. This is the -2 is the charge on the complex ion, and if you calculated this, you will get X is equal to +2. That is, in the complex, nickel is present in +2 oxidation state. Nickel in +2 oxidation state. Now the next and important part that we have to see is the types of ligand. Okay, ligand is bonded to the central metal ion, and the characteristic of ligand is that a single ligand can form one or more bonds with central metal ion. So this is the basis. How many bonds are formed by single ligand with the central metal ion is the basis of the classification of the ligand. So if using the chloride, ammonia, they form one bond. Ethylene diamine, it can form the two bond. The ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, always abbreviated as EDTA, it can form the 6 bond. So as the ligand changes, the number of bond formed by the ligand also changes, and on this basis you can classify the ligand. So the ligand form number of bonds with central metal ion, and this is called as a denticity of the ligand. Okay, denticity. Dent means the tooth. How many tooth ligand has? The bond is taken like that of the teeth. Okay, we held some object in our mouth with the help of the teeth. Like that, ligand hold the metal ion by the coordinate bond, and hence the term the denticity is oriented. With the help of number of bond, that is the tool, ligand held the metal ion at the center in the coordination complex. So, what is the denticity? Number of bonds formed by a ligand with central metal ion is nothing but the denticity of the metal ion. So, the another concept we should know, that is the donor atom in a ligand. Okay, donor atom in the ligand. So, if you see the ligand that form the multiple bond, they have more than one donor atoms. Okay, more than one donor atom. So if you see the ligand like chloride, bromide, iodide, they are composed of the atom. Or if you see the ligand like ammonia, water, okay, they are the molecules. While if you see the oxalate, sulfate, carbonate, they are the molecular ions. So ligand may be made up of one atom, it may be made up of molecule, or it may be made up of molecular ion. And the question arises, when there is a molecule or a molecular ion, when there is a single atom, it is the donor atom. There is no question. Okay, chloride ligand, chloride is the donor atom. Iodide ligand, iodide is the donor atom. But if you see the molecule like water, we have oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen has two lone pairs of electron, and hence oxygen is the donor atom. Okay. So in a molecule or in the molecular ion, the atom which is electron rich, usually it acts as a electron donor. So we have ethylene diamine, NH2, CH2, NH2. So we have two nitrogen atoms. Okay, we have two nitrogen atoms, and they have lone pairs of electron, and they act as a donor atom. Okay, so we have water and ethylene diamine, they are molecular ions. The oxalate carbonate EDTA, okay, they are the molecular ions. They are the molecular ions. So already I have explained water molecule, oxygen is the donor atom, ethylene diamide, nitrogen is the donor atom. Like this, if you see in the EDTA, 2 nitrogen and 4 oxygen atoms are the donor atoms. Okay, so the ligand which can form multiple bonds with central metal ion has more than one donor atoms. So now we'll explain the types of the ligand depending on the denticity. The very first is the monodent ligand. Mono means single, dent means the tooth. The ligand which form the single bond, only one bond with central metal ion is the monodent ligand. What are the examples? Fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide, hydroxyl, cyanide. All these are the examples of monodent ligand. Each of them form a single bond with central metal ion. You can add few more, such as a thiocyanate is there, which is the monodent ligand. Then we have the second type, bident. Bi means two, dent means the tooth or the bond. The ligand which form two bonds, the ligand which form two bonds with the central metal ion is called as bident ligand. So we have oxalate is there, ethylene diamine is there, acetyl acetone abbreviated as ACAC is there, bipyridine is there. Okay, all these are ligands, they are the bident. Each of them has ability to form two bonds with the central metal ion, and hence they are termed as a bident ligand. So I have shown the diagrammatic representation, for example ethylene diamine and the oxalate. Okay, so ethylene diamine, the nitrogen in NH2 group, they are the donor atom, and here this negatively charged oxygen in the oxalate, they are the donor atoms. Then the polydent. Poly means many, dent means the tooth. Okay, so polydentate ligand, if you see, it forms 3 or more bonds with the central metal ion. Any ligand which can form 3 or more bonds with central metal ion is called as a polydentate ligand. Okay, so in the polydent we have the trident. An example of the trident is diethylene triamine, abbreviated as DINE. Okay, diethylene triamine, abbreviated as a DINE, is the trident ligand. Then we have the tetradent ligand. Tetradent ligand, it can form how many bonds? It can form 4 bonds, hence tetra. Tetra means 4. Okay, 4 bonds. So example is the triethylene tetramine. Okay, so triethylene tetramine is the example of the tetradent ligand. The pentadent ligand, it can form the 5 bonds, and in the series similar type of the example we have the tetraethylene pentamine. Okay, tetraethylene pentamine. And the hexadent ligand, it can form the 6 bond with the central metal ion, and we have ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid is the example of hexadent. Like this, you can use the wording such as a heptadent, octadent, okay, like this, and we have the ligand. But usually the common types of the ligand are monodent, bident, trident, tetradent, pentadent, and the hexadent. They are the most common type of the ligand in the coordination chemistry. The next definition, we have the chelate. The next definition in the coordination chemistry is the chelate. Okay, so we'll consider the structure of the CuEn twice 2 plus complex ion. Okay, CuEn twice 2 plus complex ion. So what is the structure? The structure is shown here. At the center we have copper 2 plus ion, and if you see ethylene diamine, 2 ethylene diamine ligands, they are bonded to the copper. Now I will consider the copper and 1 ethylene diamine ligand. Okay, you have to observe this part. What happened? So you can see easily there is a formation of pentacyclic ring. This is the pentacyclic ring. Thus, the coordination complex in which ligand and metal together, they form the cyclic ring structure or the cyclic structure or ring structure. Such a coordination complex is called as a chelate. The coordination complex in which when ligand is bonded to the metal, there is formation of cyclic or ring structure. Okay, so you can easily see the ring structure between ethylene diamine and the copper. Okay, so such a complex is called as a chelate. So if you see the chelate, what is the characteristic of the chelate? The chelate type of the complex is more stable than containing monodent ligand. Okay, we have one complex consisting of only monodent ligand such as a CuNH3,4, and the another complex consisting of the chelating ligands such as ethylene diamine, oxalate, okay, or any polydent ligand. So we have CuEn twice. CuEn twice. Okay. So if you see CuEn twice and the CuNH3,4, the CuEn twice is more stable since it is chelate type of the ligand. Why? Since when we have to break the complex, we have to remove the ligand. In a monodent type of the ligand, to remove ligand only one bond is to be broken, while if you see in the chelate, to remove one ligand, two bonds are to be broken. So breaking of the two bond ultimately it requires more energy, and hence ultimately the ligand consisting of the chelate type of the structure or polydent ligand is more stable. If you see chelate type of the complex, if denticity increases, the stability increases. For example, denticity is 2, denticity is 3, 4, 5 or the 6. So the stability increases as the denticity of the ligand increases. So the ligand with 6 denticity will give rise more stable complex, while ligand with the monodent ligand will give rise least stable complex. Then the polydent ligand, all polydent ligand, they are the chelating types of the ligand. All they are the chelating types of the ligand. So in this video, we have seen some basic concept of the coordination chemistry, and basically we have seen the definition of the coordinate bond, ligand, central metal ion, how to calculate charge on the complex ion, how to calculate oxidation state of the central metal ion, what are the different types of the ligand, and what is meant by the chelate. So in the next video I will explain IUPAC nomenclature of coordination compound. So see you in the next video.